has Eveinstein, part 3 of Eveinstein's service, the Church of Plain Truth about the extraterrestrials. God sent the angels to earth to create a heaven on earth, a physical heaven. And that is what they've been doing. All the heavenly things, the extraordinary things, Shakespeare, Michelangelo, QAnon, they're all extraterrestrials. These things could not have been done by ordinary people. Okay, Jesus Christ was an extraterrestrial. He was a supreme archangel. He is, I should say. And QAnon, who is Winston Churchill. Oh, we got it here. Winston Churchill was QAnon, and he is Baron Trump. President Trump's, Melania Trump, who was Florence Nightingale, founded nursing. These are his parents. They are, and President Trump was a 10th Sikh guru. All the Sikh gurus are extraterrestrials. They're all amazing. And Edwin Birdsong, for example, was the 5th Sikh guru, Arjun. He was, he founded the scripture, compiled the scripture for the Sikhism. And he was the first Sikh guru martyr. The Muslims killed him because he wouldn't abandon Sikhism and convert to Islam. Sikhism was founded by Guru Nanak, Mary Magdalene, tMichelle Birdsong. The 9th Sikh guru is Mike Pence. Peace Bahadur was his name. And he was the 2nd Sikh guru to be martyred. They killed him too. They beheaded him because he wouldn't abandon Sikhism and convert to Islam. He is from the sun. He has the light. And so he just let himself be beheaded rather than betray his values. This is the book, The Equilibrium of Love, about the Dara Baba Jamal Singh. Now you can see that's an old Dara. They have a new Dara as well. And this is Heaven on Earth, physical bricks and mortars. It was built by Satangis, who are the death angel, the angels that left heaven with Lucifer. And they are so guilt-ridden, they want to die. They believe the Master will take them back to the sun where they can die, merging into the sun and burning forever, burning away their individuality, burning away their identity, obliterating their guilt. Lucifer himself is a Satangi. Now, in the second video, I said the Jews are the black people. They are the people who voted to kill Christ. And I said, like, Little Stevie Wonder and Robin Birdsong. But I meant the skin colors are the same. Robin Birdsong is an angel from heaven. She's not a Jew that voted against Christ. She's a disciple of Christ. The guru lost in Radhaswami history. She definitely did not vote to kill Christ. Okay, so that was my misspoke. I misspoke when I said that. And like I said, Judas Iscariot, her father, disliked Stevie Wonder, was the smartest disciple, was the educated disciple. And he was trying to get Christ to admit who he is. He knew who Christ was. He loved Christ. He realized Christ was the truth in the way. He just wanted everybody else to realize it, and he wanted Christ to tell him. So he tried to force Christ's hand But Christ was a martyr, and he let himself side with the people against him. Love your enemies. He loved his enemies. He became his own enemy, and killed himself. Let himself be killed. That's what Christ did. Blew Judas's mind. He had not thought of the consequences of his actions. He had not thought Christ would do this. So when Christ died, his heart was broken. Judas's heart was broken. He felt such remorse he couldn't live with the guilt. He tried to give the money back. He didn't want the money in the first place. He was just trying to get Christ to say, yes, look at this. I can move mountains. I can do anything. He wanted him to know his power. So Judas hanged himself. He could not live with the guilt. He didn't want to live without Christ anyway because he loved Christ. He also loved Mary Magdalene, Christ's wife. So in his next incarnation, he became a genius. The same, he was a genius with Christ. He became a genius, Adolf Hitler, which people call the evil genius. Adolf Hitler was trying to avenge Mary Magdalene's grief, because she was grief-stricken. And he was trying to avenge the death of her husband, his master, by killing the people who said they were Jews. Because the Bible said the Jews killed them. And Herod, who was Gary Bird, Stevie Wonder's friend. Stevie Wonder doesn't know that Gary Bird was Herod that participated in the killing of Christ. So Hitler killed the wrong people. He didn't kill the people who killed Christ. And they are still punishing themselves. The black people are living in the worst condition in the world. Poverty. And Christ forgave them already. They need to forgive themselves because they're making a mess of the planet with their violence and their drugs and their abortions. I just read where abortion deaths are far more than COVID, which I'm not surprised about that, but they're killing babies, So they need to forgive themselves and start being good people. I'm talking about the black masses. The black conservatives are not Jews. Okay, they're extraterrestrials. They're good people. They're trying to help the masses of black people who are just destroying everything they can. Okay, rMuchelle Birdsong and her mother, Michelle Birdsong, wrote this book. She sneezes a greasy baby, says Abigail, with tMichelle Birdsong's son, Robin Birdsong's brother, in a parallel life. T.J. Robshaw illustrated this book. Robin found T.J. when she lived in London, and he had his artwork on the sidewalk, and she discovered him and was overjoyed at the work he's done. It's a beautiful book. It's available at Amazon.com, and it triggers your youngsters' awareness of good and evil, which they need to be aware of. This album, tMichelle Birdsong wrote the words for, created Edwin's image, and they wouldn't let it through. The gatekeepers, Frankie Crocker, James Brown, Berry Gordy, they wouldn't let this album through. And tMichelle Birdsong projects herself as Albert Einstein and Mary Magdalene. Oscar Hammerstein also, Ira Gershwin. So they wouldn't let this album through because it was truth. Stevie Wonder heard it, flipped over it, called us, said, I want to meet you. He and Edwin became friends for 45 years. He didn't know that he and I walked down the aisle in 1967, Edwin's wife, and conceived a baby, rMuchelle Birdsong. So he spent his time with his wife's